What's going on, guys? This is Qazi. Welcome to another amazing tutorial. And yes, I listen to you guys. I love you guys, and it's happening. You asked for a Parasite tutorial, you got a Parasite tutorial. This is an advanced tutorial, so make sure you grab a notepad. Also, the techniques that I'm using here, they are agnostic to any camera, okay? Whether it's 8-bit, whether it's S-Log, C-Log, whatever you have, you can apply these methods and try to get a very close or similar image to what we're gonna be getting here. Now, people that are part of my masterclass are gonna have access to this footage, so you can actually practice along and really do one-to-one match and try to get as close as possible to what I'm doing here. And for those that want to level up their color grading game, check out the link in the description. 1 hour-long free training where I will show you how to get the perfect skin tones out of your Sony S-Log 8-bit footage, how to get the clean white look, it's the go-to commercial look, how to get the creamy film look, how to fix the dreaded gamma shift, and much more. Link is in the description. Last week, I dropped a tutorial on TENET, so if you haven't checked that out, click right here. Also, I'm torn between doing a look recreation between Netflix's Extraction or James Bond No Time to Die. So help me decide, drop a comment below. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel for more awesomeness. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. I'm dropping value bombs there every single day. Let's roll the intro. Let's get the show on the road. So excited to be working on this particular shot. I gotta be honest with you, one of my favorite frames from this film. This entire scene was just so gorgeous. There's sodium vapor lights going on, a little bit of Joker action happening, and I'm going to show you what I mean, okay? So I'm going to get rid of this image. I'm going to go to the next shot, and I already have my color palette applied on here, which is OFX. And let's just kind of study it, what we're looking at here through our color palette. So color palette is broken into 3 different sections. You got your shadows, you got your midtones, you got your highlights, and then this is the overall, okay? So obviously we can see that there's a teal and orange thing going on. You got this orangish thing and then teal right here, and we can read that in the midtones, highlights, and in the shadows. So basically that's what we're creating. And I want to give you an example of something. I'm going to open up my galleries, and these 2 stills are from Joker. So I'm going to pop these open, okay? And once I bring this in, and now if I wipe this, you can see how these 2 images have pretty much the exact same hue for this sodium vapor. And that's what you need to understand, that once you start recreating these looks, and especially these blockbuster teal and orange modern day looks, then you got a grade that's ready to go when you're working on your own project. So I wanted to give you an example by bringing this in. And I also want to bring this shot in and show you again. So the sodium vapor is exactly the same, but even if you look at the lower midtones and the shadow areas, like right here, this is our Parasite, this is Joker, how close these 2 grades are, right? Like I can intermix them easily. Like just look at that. Like they're almost the same exact grade. That's just to give you an idea. So now that we know what we're looking at, this is our shot that we're going to be working with. I'm going to park it somewhere around 1 second and 12 frames, and this is our hero frame. This time I'm just going to start off with my LUT. So I'm going to go under gallery, and when I say my LUT, it's not my LUT, it's the technical LUT, which is the conversion LUT, basically Arri Alexa log to Rec 709, because this image is shot on Alexa. So we just applied the Rec 709 LUT, and it looks like this, and it's pretty crunchy. It doesn't look anything like what we want to do. So there's quite a bit of ways that we have to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this conversion LUT here, and I'm just going to call it Rec 709 LUT. So this is our Rec 709 LUT. Let's go ahead and create a node right before that. So I'm going to create another node right here, and I'm going to call this my primaries. And this is where we're going to do somewhat of our adjustments. So what I want to do is I want to click on this guy right here so we can have our image selected, still images selected, so we can pull this image up. I'm going to make this bigger a little bit so you guys can see better. So let's keep it around here. And now I'm going to start playing with my lift gamma gain to kind of get the contrast in the same ballpark. I feel like our lighting is so different than how this shot is lit that we have to manipulate it by using our lift gamma gain. So I'm going to raise my gamma up. I'm going to bring my gain down, and then I'm going to raise my gamma up a little bit more, bring my gain down, and look at my gain right here, right? So like, look at how much higher this is. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. I'm going to take my lift. I'm going to pull it down because I really want my lift to be where this lift is in this shot. Close, not like it doesn't need to be identical. I'm going to take my gamma up again. I want to get some information there. Take my lift down. Leave it somewhere around here. Now I'm going to create an append node, which is after the LUT. And here we're going to just do our look. Let's just call this node a look node. And let's start dialing in some of the colors. So I'm going to just kind of do like a freestyle. I'm going to take my lift and I'm going to start injecting that teal, a little bit of that. And then I'm going to take my gamma and start putting that flying off of like what feels right. And I'm going to bring that down a little bit. I'm going to take my gain and I'm going to take it towards that sodium vapor. So I'm like really, really taking it there, right? So I'm just like going there, and then obviously we can bring it back, all that good stuff. Now I'm going to take my gamma and I'm going to balance it out. And I'm going to take my lift and pull out some of that green and keep my teal somewhere around here. And now I'm going to take my gain and I'm going to put more orange in there. And I'm going to take my gamma and I'm going to cancel out some of that green by adding more bluish teal. And I'm going to take my gain and I'm going to put more orange in there. And I'm just going to run with it. So pretty out there, right? So if I look at it, like, I mean, it's pretty out there. Like I pushed it quite a bit. And that's okay. Okay, this is just our look node. We want to get as close as possible. So what else can we do to clean it up a little bit? I guess I can play around with my lift a little bit more. So let me pull it down. Let me move it over to cool off the image a little bit. Maybe something like that. And now obviously we have way more teal in our shadows to like how clean the shadows are there. And that's not a problem. If you guys have seen my log versus primaries episode, I'm going to have a link up here. You can click and check it out. I'm going to be using that technique right now. So I'm going to go right into my log wheels and I'm going to take my shadows and now I want to clean up that teal that seeped in too much into my black points, and just look what I'm doing. So I'm cleaning it up, right? But what's happening is that I'm overdoing it, and that is totally fine because you're about to find out what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into my low range and I'm going to keep pulling my low range back until I'm only affecting the darkest areas and nothing else. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to raise my shadows up, right? I'm going to raise my shadows up to like really see right here what is happening. And I got to balance it out a little bit more. So now I'm going to go ahead and start balancing it out a little bit more. So now we got this going on. I'm going to go back into my primaries now. And I'm going to pull them down a little bit. I'm going to pull my primaries down, something like that. And this was the technique that we had to use to kind of clean up our black points. But I feel like I need to work on it and I need to massage it a little bit more, which I'm going to do in my next node. Okay, so I'm going to create another serial node right here. Let's just call this look adjustment. And then in here, what I can do is a simple, I'm going to show you right here. So we're going to go into our curves and we're just going to do editable splines. And I'm going to click right here and raise this up a little bit to kind of add some pop in our image. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to bring this closer and try to pull it in. And then let's see what we've created. So I'm going to turn it on and off. So we're creating that pop. It's okay. We're going to work on it and we're going to dial everything in even better. But guys, what we're looking at right now is that this pop that we have there, our lights are reversed. We have that light in the green here. Okay, so we're going to have that pop here. So you have to use your imagination here. we still need to work on some things. I need to dial in this color and bring it into that world. I need to dial back the cyan. It's too hard and kind of get it in that realm. So once we do those things, it's going to clean up our image way more. If I were to just bring in my reference and then swipe back and forth, one thing that I'm noticing is that our dude is still really hot. Like the contrast is extremely pushed and we got to open that up. But one way to control his face and the light on his face would be to create a Luma qualifier for the highlights and control our highlights. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to throw that qualifier right before all my nodes. So I'm going to create a brand new serial before my primaries, and I'm going to go in my luminance, crank it somewhere around here, and I'm going to go ahead and start grabbing that, raising it up, and I just want to grab the top end, okay? So something like that. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and track it just to his face. So I'm not even worried about anything else outside of that, okay? So I'm gonna come out of that. I'm gonna go in my primaries, and in my highlight slider, I'm gonna start pulling it back, okay? I'm gonna pull it back quite a bit. I'm gonna pull it back somewhere around here. And if I do before and after, just look at his skin. And I'm gonna go ahead, create right there. So I'm going to create a window. I'm going to give it a shape, and then I'm going to pull it down like that, raise it up, and then let's see where it's sitting. It's grabbing his face. Let's soften it up a little bit. And then at that point, let's go ahead and track it. So I'm going to go into my tracker and I'm going to say, hey, track forward. And I'm going to come right here. I'm going to say track backwards. Okay. So now it's tracked. It's latching on. We're good to go. And if I were to do this, or if I were to do that, you can see that we're only affecting this. We're not affecting anything outside of that. Okay. This is exactly what we wanted to do. So now we're controlling the highlights on his face quite a bit. So if I were to bring my reference back in now and go over the reference, like look at the highlights on his face to our guy's face than before, big difference. I can also do this. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to flip this. So now when we do a wipe, we can really see how big of a difference it's making. And we're not even done yet, right? Like we have so much to do, but like, look at this, how much of a difference it's making, how close we are now. So this is looking really good. We're making progress. We're coming along. I'm going to get rid of this. And let's go back into our primaries and let's try to open up the image a little bit more. And again, like if we just look at the two right now, the contrast is looking good, but I don't like what is happening to my dude and how crushed he is. I can also do another thing, which is to pull him out by using a window. Okay, but let's just, even before we do that, let's try to open up our image a little bit. So in my primaries, I'm just going to go under my gamma. I'm going to raise it. I'm going to bring my gain down, gamma up, gain down, gamma up, gain down, gamma up, gain down. So now if I were to pull up my image right here, you know, we've come a long way. We still got our black points, which are right here, the black points right there. So our black points are looking pretty good, but we opened up the image quite a bit. Our dude doesn't look as raccoonish as he was before. Again, their skin tones are not going to be one-to-one match because, you know, my dude's skin is way more olive than an Asian skin right here, but we can still mess around with it a little bit and get it in the ballpark. But my main goal right now is a couple of other things, right? So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to flip this again. My main goal right now is to actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I'm going to go under my wipe mode. I'm going to flip that. And what I'm looking for right now, get this in here. Okay, get this color in here. So I'm going to go under my look adjustment, and under my look adjustment, I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a parallel node. Okay, and in my parallel node, this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to go under my hue versus hue options. So right now I'm under my hue versus hue. And what I want to do is I want to take my cyan, which I'm expecting is this, and I want to start twisting it around. So look at this. I want to put it somewhere around here. It's pretty close to this. Now I want to go under my hue versus saturation, and I want to pull my cyan down to get it closer to this. So just keep an eye here. I'm going to take my cyan, I'm going to pull it down. So now we're getting pretty close to this. I feel like I might want to add a little bit of green back in. So I'm going to pull the saturation down even more, something like that, something like that. And now let's go back into my hue versus hue, take my cyan and put some of that green back in so it's closer. So if I do before and after, look at the difference, how close we're getting, right? So it's the subtleties that are going to make a big, big difference, right? So now if I look at it, it's looking a lot closer. So that's one aspect that we tackled. And now I'm going to be creating some layer mixers, okay? So before I even do that, I want to do one more thing. Let's pull down the green. You see how much green that we're seeing here? So let's go back in here. Hue versus saturation. I'm under hue versus saturation. Let's take my green and pull it down. So look at what it's doing. So it's helping. I'm going to pull it down somewhere around here. So now if I do a swipe between the two, it's looking a lot closer. Okay, so this did quite a bit of trick. It's making it look really, really clean. As a matter of fact, I feel like I can bring some of that green back because I'm seeing some of this green right here that I feel like we can throw back there. So let's go back into our cyan saturation and raise it a little bit, not too much, a little bit, something like this. And if I do a quick swipe, okay, so this is looking way, way better, okay? Now what I want to do is this. I'm going to go in here, create a new serial, and we're going to start creating some layer mixers, okay? And the first one that I want to create is for his skin. I want to isolate his skin. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to select his skin. Let's try to pick it. Hopefully it does a pretty clean job. I'm going to be isolating his skin, so it doesn't matter as long as we just even something like this is pretty good. And now what I want to do is just go under denoise, crank it up to around 10-ish. And now I'm going to be creating a similar window I created right there. And then that will do the trick. So I don't have to really worry about anything. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. So I can even do this, pull it up, keep it somewhere around here, give it a shape, make it smaller, rotate it, something like that, soften it up a little bit. And now we can just go back into our tracker and say track forward. And then I can say track backwards. Okay, so now if I come out of this mode, everything is tracked and it's going to latch on. And if I do this, you guys can see like it's latching on. Okay, so we got the key on his face now. Now, all we have to do is pull this open, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in my wipe mode, flip it around, keep their faces next to each other, and let's start dialing it in. So now I grabbed his face, and what I want to do is I just want to start putting some salmon in. So I'm going to start with my gain and just raise it up, even something like that, and pull it down a little bit, the intensity, and just a little bit more red, just a tiny bit more red, you know, because our guy has a little bit more fair complexion than what this dude has got going on. So I'm going to be respectful of that. And then let's go back into our primaries and see if we want to pull the highlights down a little bit more. So I'm going to work on the highlights, pull it down a little bit, and then I'm going to take my gamma and pull some of the yellow out, to be honest with you. So I'm going to do this. I'm just using my gamma right now, and I'm pulling some of the yellow out. Their skin are not going to be exactly the same, guys. So just remember that, okay? But look at how much we're affecting still. So this is before, this is after. We're putting his skin where it's supposed to be, but still keeping it in a very similar world to like what's going on here, okay? So that's the point of this. And I think skin tone wise, let me try to give it some saturation and see if that does something. So I'm gonna go in here and just crank it, and then obviously dial it back because that's way too much. So somewhere around here. And now I'm going to take my gamma and just pull that yellow out. And then take my gain and just take it toward that salmon. So now if I do before and after, I mean, we're adding a lot of life into his skin, okay? His skin did not have any life before. Now we're pumping a lot of life into it. So this to me is looking pretty legit. So let's just click on this guy so we can see them next to each other. So what are we lacking? We're lacking, I think, just a pop, like saturation overall, to be honest with you. So we can start there. I can create another node right here. Let's do another serial and let's just give it some saturation. So I'm going to go ahead and pump in some saturation, something like that. Keep it somewhere around here. And now what are we seeing? So is there anything we don't like? I'm liking the saturation. I think my image overall is just a little bit more on the warm side. So we can do a couple of things. I can go under my primaries and I can start with the temp and tint and play around with it. So I'm going to start with the temp and dial it back to cool it off a little bit and keep it somewhere around here, and then take my tint and add some magenta. Not too much, just a little bit. Keep it somewhere around here. And now let's do before and after. So I think the red pop is start to come in and is looking really nice. I think overall it's doing it for me. It is helping, but I feel like we kind of went away from this color that we had to that now, this blue. So we can bring that back. I mean, it's right here. So we can just go back in here. And guys, this is the back and forth that you just kind of have to do and be aware of, okay? When you add something, you have to subtract something else, and that kind of game you have to just play. So now I'm going back into my hue versus hue, and I'm going to go back into my cyan. I'm focusing right here, and I'm just trying to pull the green in a little bit more, okay? So I'm going to go back in there, pull some of that green back in. I'm just kind of vibing it out. I'm just looking at the whole shot and I'm just kind of feeling it out to what is really going on and if that's something that I actually want. So I'm looking at the difference. I'm kind of squinting my eyes almost to see if I've gone too far, and I think I have. So I'm going to go under my key mode, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the overall intensity, which is basically like the opacity, to like half. So I'm just kind of watching the two and I'm going, give me, just split the difference. Basically, that's what I did. So it's 0.5. Give me that. And if I do that, then I have to go back in here, back into my hue versus option, take my cyan and dial it back to a little bit closer to what I had here. So guys, a lot of intricate little tiny things, but trust me, they're important, okay? And you got to look at the shot the way I'm doing it back and forth to just like really feel it out, what's really going on. So what else can we do? One extracurricular thing that we can do is to put more focus on him and take away from like the window and everything else, just like how they have like the eye is drawn right here and then everything kind of fades away. So we can try to create that too, right? So this is, let's call this node as my look adjustment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, this is going to be my vignette. And let's come out of this mode. Let's come out of this mode and let's just go ahead and create another window and give it a shape, something like that. And I'm going to tilt it up. It's going to be basically right around him and then give it tons of softness. And then I'm going to invert it and go back into my curves. And basically, I just want to grab it from like this point and then pull it down a little bit, not too much. So even something like that, not too much. And then I actually don't want to do editable spline. So I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to turn off editable spline and now pull it down. Something like this. And now I'm going to go ahead and create an outside node. And there's two ways to do it. You can right click and do outside node. I did it on my panel. There's a button for it. And then I'm just going to say inside. And then for the inside, we're kind of going to do the opposite, but I'm going to lift it up from the bottom here because I really want to get more detail in his like raccoon eyes. So I'm gonna keep it somewhere around here. And now if I do before and after, and if I take these two nodes and turn them on and off, like look at the amount of difference we're creating. Now I know we're taking away from the saturation in this area, but that's okay because this is where I'm going to show you another technique. So it's basically called stacking, right? So we created these two inside and outside vignette, and then the third one levels out everything. So in here, I'm going to grab it from this point and I'm going to pull it down. Something like that. And basically I want to bring this up, flip this around and see luminance wise where we're sitting and where we need to be. So where is this image? We basically have to bring it down a little bit more. So I can go back in here, take this and kind of keep it somewhere around here. Now let's do a wipe and we're getting really, really close. So if I do before and then after and how close we're getting, we're almost there, okay, in terms of like where we're supposed to be. And if I were to do a complete wipe, let's bring this over, let's flip this around. And now if I look at it, keep it somewhere around here and do before and after, you can see how big of a difference we've made. So guys, a lot of trickery happening here to dial it all in. But like, look at the two, okay? So we are inside, we don't have a street light, we don't have those exact sodium vapors, so they're not gonna be one-to-one match, but how close can we get it? That's always going to be the question. So I'm gonna turn this off, I'm gonna look at it like that, and then just kind of analyze, are we getting the vibe? Are we getting there? Is there anything else that we can do? I can do a couple of things with it, okay? So I can go under my curves, hue versus hue, and now I'm just going to mess around with my reds and yellows, hue versus hue, and see what it does. And I'm focusing right here to right there and see if I can get any closer to where I want to go. So this to me looks better than where this was. So even something like that. And then I'm taking my yellow and I'm doing the same thing. And I think it's looking a little bit better. I'm not focused on his face right now, okay? Because I can send that key information through and reverse it, so that's not a problem. Let's go into our hue versus saturation, and let's try to raise it up, keep it somewhere around here, raise our yellows up, somewhere around here. And let me do before and after just in this kind of area and vibe. And I feel like it's looking better, to be honest with you. So now what I can do is a couple of things. I can send the face information through and say, hey, go into the key mode, and I can say invert it. So now I'm saying don't affect the face at all, affect everything outside of that, okay? And that's exactly what it's doing. So it's affecting and bringing in these colors outside of that, but it's leaving the face as is. And another way to protect the face a little bit more would be to come out of this, create an actual window, and I can basically invert this. And now I'm really saying that, hey, do not grab anything in this area, right? And I can just do like, watch this. So I can go like that, keep it somewhere around here and soften it up quite a bit and then pull it in. And now I can rotate it a little bit, go ahead and track it. So I can go genuinely leave everything that is inside here. And then look at that. I'm saying affect everything around it. And that's exactly what it's doing. And let's go ahead and pull our image up. So I feel like one thing that we still have to do is to bring the intensity down on his face just a little bit. And we can go back in here into our highlights and just grab our gain and pull it down. So just look at that, right? So I can keep it somewhere around here go back into my primaries, and in here, I can just take my highlights and even bring it down more. So now I really, really just like look at the difference, right? Grabbed it and pulled it down quite a bit. And I think the dude in our lighting condition compared to where this guy is are completely different. So I think it's more than comparable. Okay. I'm going to kill this. I'm going to click on this guy and see where we are between the two images. I think I'm not really a huge fan of this yellow because I feel like it's just kind of sticking out than what this is. So I'm going to go back into my hue versus options. I'm going to go into my red and I'm going to pull it back a little bit. So something like that to bring some of that orange back in, even something like that. So when I look at the two images like that, how close are we? That's always a good comparison. I think what I can say is that we can try pumping in some more color into his skin and see if that does anything. So I'm going to go back into the skin and I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to give it some color. And then I'm going to go into my gamma and pull some of that yellow out. Okay, let me see. Also in here, I just want to create another node, which is going to be basically his lips. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to create a layer mixer. So this is a layer mixer and I just want to grab his lips and I'm going to go in here in this node. I'm going to go right here and I'm going to click right there and let's see what we grab. And then let's go ahead and refine it. And obviously we're going to track it. So I'm not really worried about what it's grabbing because all I want to grab is like his lips like that. And then let's try to restrict it as much as we can, if we can. So not really. So what I want to do is pretty simple. I'm just going to go ahead and create a window and I'm going to go ahead and create a custom shape basically. Something like that. Garbage matte and then just soften it a little bit. Something like that. And then again, just go into our tracker, say track forward, track backwards. And then once we come out of that, we can just really give it some color because like right now, that's what it's lacking. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but obviously not make it artificial. I'm going to pull this up to kind of see what we're trying to do. Their lips don't need to look exactly the same. So I'm going to just go into my gamma and start pumping in some color. So if I do before and after, even something like that, as long as like we just pop them out a little bit, it goes a long way. So if I go all the way and then turn it on and off, and maybe we can dial it back a little bit, right? So even just a subtle difference like that, guys. So this is before, this is after, it makes a big difference, okay? Ultimately. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to leave it there. What else do we have to do? So let's bring the image in. I'm going to go back into my skin and I'm just going to put in a little bit more salmon. It's looking very good. I can go back into this node, by the way, and kind of split the difference because I feel like I might have just gone a bit overboard. So I'm going to grab it right here. I'm going to pull this back. Even something like this. So the last two things that I feel like we need to do to really dial it all in is glow and grain. So I'm going to create an append node. Let's call it glow. And let's go into our effects, type in glow, drop that puppy on, and then I'm going to change a few things. So in my composite mode, I'm going to change it to soft light as we do. And then I'm going to go into the shine threshold. I'm going to pull it back, open it up all the way. That's okay. And then in the spread, let's try to control it. So we don't want too much of it because if I go in this shot, we don't really see the glow anywhere else besides this area, right? So we want to emulate the same exact thing. So I'm going to take it off his face and really keep it in the restricted to the highlights. So if I do before and after now, we can feel it like saturating these colors and just giving the image a lot of weight, which was missing, and creating that film curve that we are so used to. And even just look at what it does to the skin. Like, it just brings so much life to the image. So I absolutely love it, but I do want to blend it in a little bit better. So I'm just going to go into my blend and start dialing it in a little bit. So basically I'm saying kind of like split the difference, you know, bring in halfway. So give me some of that. And then let's create another node. And then this one, let's call it grain. And here we're just going to go back into our effects, drop in grain. And then let's go ahead and select our preset. And I'm going to go with the 35mm 400T. And I'm going to look at this one a few times. So let's do this. Let's punch this in. And you can see, hopefully you can see through YouTube compression as well, that there's a lot of grain here. Okay, so I'm going to try to emulate that. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. Right now, there's barely any grain. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding grain size, which is going to start giving us nice chunky texture. And then I'm going to go into grain size and do the same. And now if I go before and after, you can see, maybe I can dial back on the grain strength. So if I do before and after, I can even punch in a little bit more so you guys can see it clearly. But if I pause it here, just look at right there. I'm going to do before, after, before, after. So now if we punch back and bring the two next to each other, there is a big, big difference, okay? So now what's going on? I'm going to go back in this mode. Since we did our glow, it helped a lot with certain colors, but then let's just look at overall vibe, like if we need to do anything else. So I'm going to go back into my skin, and that's the only thing that I feel like I need to work on. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this over, and I'm not going to overdo it. Like, seriously, everything is looking really good. All I need to do in my skin after dropping the glow, I feel like maybe it oversaturated the skin a little bit. So I'm going to take the saturation back a little bit. Just see, like, I'm dialing it back, not too much, okay? I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. And then let me take my gain, and I'm going to pull it down just a little bit, not too much again. I'm going to keep my gain somewhere around here. And let's pull some saturation down more. Let's pull the saturation back in somewhere around here. And if I do before and after, world of a difference. Big, big difference, guys. Guys, this is it. We can pixel peep the F out of it. We can do a lot of different things. But for me, this is going to have to do it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in this mode. I'm going to kill all of these and start from the top to the bottom and see where we started to where we ended up. Let's buy ourselves some room. Something. Let's do this. Boom. Okay, this is good. Look at this node tree. It's kind of crazy. So we started with the Rec 709. This is our Rec 709. Then I went and opened up the image a little bit. So we started with the Arri-LUT, then opened up the image a little bit. And then a lot of the look was created right here. Look at this. Lift gamma gain. Okay, that's the sauce. And then here I did the editable splines and my curve and just pop it up a little bit. Here we did our hue versus hue action to kind of get these teals in. And then I went into my highlights and pulled my dude down quite a bit and tracked him. And just like, look at, so we're trying to get it in the same world. And then worked on the skin quite a bit. And this is as much work that I can do without making it look fake. So this is where I parked it. Then I pulled out his lips just a tiny bit. This is an extracurricular. You don't have to do it, but I just went ahead and did it. So let's just call it lips. And afterwards, we went into our node number 9 and look adjustment. So we just made some minute changes in here. You can see it in the back right there. So it was temp and tint control. And then I created a vignette, brought everything around him down and then pulled him out a little bit. And in the global adjustment, quite a bit happened to kind of dial these colors in, okay? So that was quite a bit. Like, we really did our final pass to get super, super close. And then glow is what just brought it all together. I mean, just look at how glow pops everything in the right way and give it a film curve. And the skin all of a sudden starts to look so much better, brings it all home. And then finally, I added grain to top it all off. Now, the only thing that I can think of before we even go into our look and check it out in full screen, I can go into my look adjustment, go back to temp and tint control and cool it off a little bit. So I'm going to go in my temp and I'm going to dial it back and even park it somewhere around here. So let me do this. Let me just go wipe it all the way and make it full screen right here and do before and after. Yeah, guys, so this is our final look. Let's check it out in full screen. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth tutorial. Like I mentioned earlier, you probably want to watch this a couple of times. Also, don't put any limits on your brain and think that I'm working here with Alexa and you cannot create something similar if you're working with a different camera. Techniques that are used here are directly applicable regardless of the camera that you have. That said, make sure to check out the training if you actually want to take your color grading game to the next level. Link is in the description. People that have watched it just have transcended. They've just gotten to the next level, so give it a try. It's free. And on that note, guys, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.